This is a Sports Catastrophe production. Hey there, ho there. It's Jeff Cutastrophe and welcoming you to another Sports Catastrophe on this day. And on this day, February 23rd, 1985, Bobby Knight did what you see in the picture. He picked up a chair and was angry at the officials and basically threw it across the free throw line, ticking off everyone in like the strikes and all that. Bobby Knight was not unusual in his tactics of being a badass, in a sense. He was once coach of Army with a young assistant by the name of Mike Krzyzewski. Maybe you've heard of him? But anyway, Bobby Knight was a very volatile coach. He was a very successful coach, but unfortunately, being volatile means that you have a chip on your shoulder that people just don't want to come anywhere near. So, of course, Bobby Knight was known as the General. All that. What people forget about Bobby Knight was that he played for the Ohio State Buckeyes. He even won an NCAA title as a player, not as a coach, but as a player. He was a forward for Ohio State. He was a reserve forward for the 1960 team that won the NCAA title, and had Havlicek and Jerry Lucas on the team. And the Buckeyes also went to the next two championship games, but they lost to Cincy. He came off the bench in the 1961 title game and basically, he made a big free throw and he basically said, "See, coach, I should have been in the game a long time ago. Sit down, you hot dog. You're lucky you're even on the floor." Bobby Knight graduated from Ohio State with a degree in history and government in 1962. He actually started to coach for Army and all that. Like I said, one of his players was Mike Krzyzewski, not his assistant. But his reputation for having explosive temper started when Army lost to BYU in the 1966 NIT semifinals. He was basically blasting everyone and all that. He tried to get Wisconsin. He tried to go to the University of Wisconsin. There was a lot of problems. But in 1971, Indiana decided to hire him. And in his 29 years at the school, they won 662 games, 22 times 20-plus wins. Well, only losing 239 that's a 73% winning percentage. 73% of the games. That was nice. Bobby Knight won 3 national titles, 76, 81, and 87. Even though they lost in the semis twice, 73 and 92. So, not bad. And at 67% thing in the tournament. One of his most dominant wins was in 1975-76 when they went undefeated. The last NCAA school to go undefeated and, of course, win the title. All that. They took down Michigan, their rivals, in the title game. And Knight lamented it should have been 2 titles because, Indy lost in the Mid-East Regional to Kentucky and could have been in the Final Four. But yeah, it was amazing. Indiana even won the 79 NIT title, the lesser of the titles. But in 1981, they won the title, which was amazing, with a young Isaiah Thomas helping them out and all that. It was amazing and all that. Of course, that tournament game, the final was played under the shadow of Reagan being assassination attempt on Reagan. All that. Anyway, yeah. Knight won a national title in 1987 with a big win over Syracuse in the title game in New Orleans, thanks to Keith Smart's shot with a few seconds left. The thing was with Bobby Knight was that Syracuse could have had a chance to win that title if it wasn't for Derek Coleman's botched free throw. But Indiana did pretty well in 91, 92, 93, winning 87 games combined. Sadly, though, they couldn't get there. Final Four, I believe it was, I think it was Michigan who took Indiana out, if memory serves me right. No. But anyway, 94 would be the last time that Knight would have a trip to the Sweet 16. Unfortunately, he had a lot of legacy in the wrong way. This is his criticism. Now, this is before. I'll stop it before he got dumped from Indiana. At the 79 Pan Am Games in Puerto Rico, Knight was accused of assaulting a police officer while coaching the U.S. basketball team before a practice session. He was convicted in absentia to a 6-month jail sentence, but Puerto Rico could not extradite him. And all that. But the big moment was in 1985. Purdue versus Indiana. There was a foul. Knight was irate, saying that it should have been a jump ball, not a foul and a loose ball foul. Got a technical foul. Steve Reed went to shoot the 2 free throws. But Knight got the plastic chair from Indiana's bench and threw it across the floor. He was charged with 2 more technical fouls, and a lot of people were upset. Because, like, wait, you're supposed to have 2 technical fouls, not 3. Basically, he was given a 1-game suspension for his things. He did apologize. He joked about it by saying that he was trying to throw a chair to an old lady who was standing on the opposite sideline so she could sit down. Women's groups were upset in 1988 when Connie Chung interviewed Bobby Knight, and Bobby Knight said, "I think if rape was inevitable, relax and enjoy it." It was in reference to an Indiana basketball game in which he thought the referees were making broad calls against the Hoosiers. But basically, those comments ruined a weatherman from New York and would derail the governor, the bid of Clayton Williams for governor of Texas. Basically, he was upset over things about Indiana versus Purdue in 91 at a practice. Someone actually secretly taped the speech about, well, it says his exploits and threats were trying to motivate his Indiana team. But the speech went viral. Some say it was team manager Lawrence Frank. But in 1992, Bobby Knight had a bullwhip that was given to him, a gift from his team. And he playfully mock whipped Calvert Train and Pat Graham during practice. Even took it to one of the press conferences in 92 and dipped the end of it in liquid. Yeah. Knight was upset after Indiana's first round loss to Missouri in the 1995 thing against Missouri. And basically, the Volunteer informed the press Knight would not be attending the press conference, but Knight was running late. All that. He was upset with the Volunteer for mishandling it and all that. And Neil Reed basically was in trouble because obviously Knight had grabbed him in a choking matter. All that. So yeah. But unfortunately things looked bad. In March of 2000, just before Indiana went to the NCAA tournament, CNN ran a piece about an investigation of Knight choking Neil Reed during practice in 97. But basically, there was a tape that showed it. Indiana University President Miles Brand, who would soon become the NCAA's head guy for many years, said he has adopted a zero tolerance policy to Knight's behavior. And of course, in September 2000, an Indiana person, a student, said, "Hey, Nate, what's up?" And then basically Nate says that you call me Mr. Knight or Coach Knight, but not Knight. Basically, Brand had no choice but to get rid of Bobby Knight. There were a lot of people angry with that. They actually burned Brand in effigy and all that. The Indiana person was vilified because he intentionally set up Knight. Because the guy's stepfather was a former talk show host and Knight critic. Knight actually asked his supporters not to hold a grudge against Harvey and all that. So then he went to Texas Tech. And then he said, "This is the most comfortable red sweater I've had on in 6 years." He helped Texas Tech out. He led them to postseason appearances in his first 4 years at the school. 3 NCAA titles and 1 NIT tournaments. NIT. They got to the Sweet 16 in 2005, but he decided to retire February 2008 and all that. So yeah, there were a lot of things about that. He had a good coaching philosophy. He had 3 NCAA titles, which was amazing. Even won one as a player, which is unusual. And he's the only NCAA head coach to win the NCAA title, the NIT title, an Olympic gold medal, and a Pan Am gold medal, which was amazing. For how bad he was a very successful guy. His head coaching career, 902 wins, 371 losses, 70% winning percentage, and 3 NCAA titles. So, he's an icon. He's a beast. That's Bobby Knight for you. I'm Jeff Diamond. Adieu.